Good evening. Can you hear me?
Nope. Can you hear me now?
First thing tonight, I just want to welcome everybody. We've got a big crowd here tonight. Just called this meeting to order. Appreciate everybody coming. Hopefully we can squeeze in if we need to. But first thing we do with our meeting is call for the invocation, and 96 High School Junior Banks Bishop is going to lead us in our invocation. Please stand.
Good evening. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. Heavenly Father, we come before you. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening with hearts full of gratitude. Thank you for blessing us with this wonderful school district, a place where learning, growth, and community come together. We are so grateful for the dedicated faculty, staff, and administrators who work tirelessly each day to guide, nurture, and inspire our students. Thank you, Lord, for the incredible students who remind us why we do this work, for their curiosity, their kindness, and their bright futures that fill us all with hope. As we gather for this meeting, we ask for your presence among us. Grant us wisdom in our discussions, unity in our decisions, and clarity in our purpose. May all that we do tonight be done with integrity, respect, and a spirit of service for others. Please place your hand of protection over everyone here and over our schools, our students, and families. Bless our community with peace, understanding, and continued success. I ask this all in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Banks, and Jay Rose, who'll lead us in our pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So next on our agenda is the affirmation of the agenda tonight. We can look over that.
Make a motion to approve as printed.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. So next we approve minutes from our October 14th meeting.
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes as printed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any board comments? No board comments tonight, and no one has signed up for public comments. So we're going to move straight into our recognitions. Looks like we start off with the 96th High School Heart of the Wildcat recipients for Mr. Fitz Sprout.
Good evening. The theme for 96 High School this year is Evolve and Thrive, and our motto is change is the only constant, evolve with purpose. To evolve means to grow, adapt, and develop over time, always striving towards improvement. It reflects how people, ideas, and skills advance through learning and experience. To thrive means to work diligently toward a goal, putting in the effort and determination needed to achieve meaningful success. Together, Evolve and Thrive remind us to keep growing, learning, and challenging ourselves to become better, stronger, and wiser with each step forward. It is my pleasure to recognize Claire Thompson as the Teacher of the Month. Ms. Thompson serves as the Media Specialist at 96 High School, and she has transformed our Media Center into an inviting, engaging, and dynamic space where students love to spend their time, especially during lunch and on Tuesday and Thursday mornings for Wildcat Cafe. Ms. Thompson not only promotes a love for reading, but also has reimagined the Media Center as a hub for creativity and collaboration. She has introduced puzzles, games, and arts and crafts, creating a welcoming environment for both students and staff. Whenever I need something done, Ms. Thompson is always the first person I can count on. When I approach her with, I have a question, what do you think? Or, could you help me with this? She consistently responds with a smile, enthusiasm, and support. Her willingness to step up and take on new challenges has led her to serve as our school webmaster, National Honor Society sponsor, and project manager for many of my initiatives. Her skills extend far beyond books. She's both creative and technologically adept. Next semester, Ms. Thompson will lead professional development sessions for our faculty and staff on integrating AI into classrooms and guiding students in effective research and writing practices. Thank you, Ms. Thompson, for all that you do, first and foremost for our students, but also for your dedication to helping our faculty and staff continue to evolve and thrive.
Thank you very much.
Our support staff of the month is LaQuinn Q. Clements, a true example of how hard work and dedication pay off. Q began his journey as a day porter with the Bud Group and has worked his way up to become the supervisor overseeing the custodial crews at each school in our district. Whenever you see Q coming, his bright smile is the first thing you notice, always followed by a cheerful good morning, good afternoon, or how can I help? Q's positive attitude and willingness to serve make a lasting impression on everyone he meets. While he loves to share a good joke or funny comment, Q takes his work and the work of his team very seriously. If someone on his crew is out, Q doesn't hesitate to step in, even if it means working long hours into the night. He approaches every task with pride, professionalism, and a strong sense of responsibility. Q is quick to find solutions when challenges arise and consistently ensures that our classrooms, offices, and hallways are spotless. His commitment to excellence helps make 96 High School a clean, welcoming environment for everyone. Thank you, Q, for all you do for 96 High School and for helping us continue to evolve and thrive.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The South Carolina Commission on Higher Education, CHE, College Process Ambassador Program selects outstanding high school seniors to share their college application journeys through social media and community outreach, helping peers across the state navigate the path to higher education. Ambassadors assist with initiatives such as College Application Month, create engaging content, document their experiences, and may qualify for a scholarship of up to $1,000. Selection is based on an endorsement, application, and interview with a focus on students who demonstrate servant leadership and clear plans for post-secondary success. The mission of the program is to guide and inspire future college students by sharing valuable resources and personal insights into the college application and success process. The responsibilities of the ambassadors, they share their experiences online, assist with outreach events like College Application Month, and provide feedback to the Commission on Higher Education. The benefits of the program include gaining firsthand insight into education policy in South Carolina, and it strengthens their leadership, communication, and outreach skills. It is my honor to recognize Zelia Lomax as a South Carolina Commission on Higher Education College Process Ambassador. Come forward, Zelia. Zelia is a shining example of leadership and excellence, serving as senior class president, a 96 high school student ambassador, president of the National Honor Society, and a dedicated member of competitive cheer and track teams. Her commitment to service, scholarship, and school spirit make her an outstanding representative of 96 High School and the state of South Carolina. Zelia truly embodies our school theme, evolve and thrive, by continually growing as a leader, striving for excellence, and inspiring others to reach their full potential. Congratulations, Zelia.
we move on to recognition of teachers, first in the WPEC subject areas, Mr. David Schoolhill.
Thank you, Dr. Eichelberger. Usually whenever I come up to speak, everybody's walking out the back door. So it's kind of nice to have everybody here whenever I'm up here tonight. So actually, I'm going to flip the order just a little bit, and I'm going to recognize the students first, because in this district, students are always come first. So I'm going to recognize the SC Ready Perfect Scores for some students. If I can get Ms. Loudon, if you'll come up to the front and help me recognize your students first. So, perfect scores in ELA, Emma Lewandowski. I said it right, yes. Yeah, form a line. We got a few to recognize here. Naomi Nicholson, perfect score in ELA. Perfect scores in math, Emma Lewandowski. Jamison Edwards. Harper Lewandowski. Avery Pollard. Mason Gant. And Gracie Gale Taylor. And we have two perfect scores in science, Annabeth Walker. And Jamison Edwards. All right, we clap for our athletic teams. These were perfect scores. They didn't miss a single question. While they're taking the picture, Mr. Shumpert, if you'll come up this way, please.
Stand right here. I think you're a little bit shorter. You stand right here. And down. Go up. All right, family, you come together. All right, y'all come down just a little bit. Right there. Just a bit. Perfect. Now look at Miss Maya. Perfect pictures. Thank you.
Congratulations again. We have, continuing on, we have three perfect scores to recognize at Edgewood Middle School on SC Ready. Perfect score in ELA, Braden Gantz. Come on back. Perfect score in math, Braden Gantz. And another perfect score in math, Aiden Walworth. Big congratulations to these two gentlemen for their perfect scores on SC Ready. Congratulations. All right, Miss Loudon, if you'll come on back up here. Next, after I recognize the students, now we're going to recognize our, well, there's no other way to say it, they're our region champions. Okay, these are our teachers that they're region champions. They, based on their subject and grade level, they were the highest scores in the region in WPEC out of 13 school districts. So we've got a lot of recognitions for this. So if these staff members would come forward whenever I call their names. In fourth grade math, Hannah Cheney. Allison Barnes. Chrissy Jabert. Heather Gardner. And Lindsay Carter.
Speech together. Charlene, Michelle.
Miss McConaughey, yes, get her there as well.
Great work.
Great
Great
job.
job.
Congratulations. Not to be outdone, also region champions, 5th grade math teachers, Chandler Wells. And Tyler Rogers.
Great.
Congratulations. All right, Mr. Shepard, come on back up. Region champions in 7th grade math, Miss Courtney Coffey. And Marilyn Hilly. No, well, that's okay. In 8th grade math, Christiana Evans. And Malik Goodman.
Good job.
In 7th grade ELA, Edith Bryan. Allison Gossett. I'm going to do these together. I'm going to also recognize 8th grade ELA because Stephanie Corley taught 7th and 8th grade ELA, and both of those were first in WEPEC. So Stephanie Corley. Also in 8th grade ELA, Casey Bradley. Congratulations. Mr. Sproul, your turn. Come on up. We'll recognize our region champions in Algebra 1. Brent Leopard. Samantha No. XN McCoy. And Christiana Evans. All right. Next in U.S. History. U.S. History. These guys taught U.S. History, AP U.S. History, Foundations of U.S. History. So first place in the region, Chad Ellis. Kevin Latham. Nick Long. And BJ Wirtz. Congratulations. All right, Mrs. Brown, if you'll stay up here, Mr. Shumpert, if you'll come join them up here. Got one more recognition. These guys didn't know that they were going to do this, but the school report card ratings just came out. A lot of times, principals are the last ones to get recognized for things that they do. But we had 2 excellent school report card ratings. The first one at Edgewood Middle School for Mr. Jason Shumpert. And also at 96 High School for Mr. Fitzprow.
Good job.
Well, that was amazing.
Awesome, awesome.
To see all that, see all the students, all the teachers. This is just affirmation of what an incredible school district that we have. That's right. So I sincerely appreciate everyone and the students and all the family. So, but congratulations to everyone tonight. And this is usually the time that we get into the more serious part of the meeting, and a lot of the viewers leave if you
Congratulations, wow.
That's good stuff. Everybody's leaving us, right?
Those teachers are so good, as you know. I mean, how are you? Something in their calculation we're not able to figure out. So we're working on it. Big old rock here. School farm. Yeah, see big old this week.
Oh, you have no choice. Hey, Dave.
Oh,
Tell Shumpert there's like a 2-year delay between like when those awards are really won and when they're given out. That's really your award. You just kind of.
That is so awesome.
I think you should. You were still there when that you set that in motion.
He's thinking about it too.
So it's out in the front. They got a big rock out in the front.
Somebody said it was something like a spirit rock or something.
I can start playing.
I guess that's the. I assume there won't be more clapping tonight. So, we'll move forward with Dr. Taylor's superintendent's report as everyone finishes out the back door.
All right, well, thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all staying. So we have a little bit of an audience left, but can you hear me? All right, I was going to provide tonight a little bit of update on the new facility that we are planning at Piedmont Tech, and that's the Technical Innovation Center, and that is for the county. And so we are joining the Greenwood 51 and 50 to build a new, what we call Career Center. And so that is coming along nicely. I just wanted to give you an update. We are still in the fundraising phase and the planning phase of the facility. We are looking at what we offer today and what jobs are available in our community and how that matches up. And we're also looking at the new career clusters that have come through, that have changed a little bit. They've evolved. And you think about it, 10 years ago, I don't remember, or 5 years ago, talking about EV and AI. And so they're bringing those things together for us to create a new facility and new offerings for our students. So things will change a little bit over there, and then you'll see a lot of the traditional courses that we have that we still have in demand. But what we're looking for is an income, a viable income for our students so that they can support their families and support themselves along the way. And there's so many things at Piedmont Tech that they offer and will continue to offer, really gives the students an opportunity to have a great living. And so that's what we're hoping for them and to be excited about it. So again, we're in the middle of fundraising and working with the architects, and we look forward to talking about our plans soon. And hopefully, we had a rendition, and now we're talking about some of the details of that building. So I did want to give an update on that tonight. I also wanted to say congratulations to our band, and we will recognize the band in our May meeting, and that will be where usually we give the rings out, and Mr. Vickery has agreed that May would be good, that we can go to the high school and meet there and have enough room for everybody. But so that's a big deal. We actually go to county council next Tuesday night at 5:30, and they will be recognized there. And then Mr. Sproul and I know are working with Mr. Vickery concerning when we go to the State House. And so we look forward to that trip. Really, now it's like every year we get to go. So it's not even, I don't know. This is great. So it's 4 in a row, but he's done so many. I guess it's number 12 this year. And so we're proud of Mr. Vickery and our band. We also have on our list tonight a review of the field trips, professional leave, and fundraising request. And so if y'all have any questions concerning that, I'll be glad to try to answer those for you. We do not have any overnight meetings or trips.
Thank you.
Any questions? All right, and then we also follow that on page 18 with the parenting report. Okay, any questions on the parenting report? Okay,
Okay.
all right, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Thank you for that update, and thank you, of course, for recognizing our band. That's amazing again. Now we'll have, again, Mr. David Schofield on the report card.
We talked a little bit about it. This is what I'm used to presenting for the board meeting here. So, but it was good. It was good to have all that out there. We talked a little bit about it. All good news. High school. That's a story for another day. For how we got to the report card rating. At some point, I think we had 5 different numbers that they had given us, and they kept sending us back. And the state had the numbers wrong. The grad rate was wrong. The college and career ready was wrong. Tireless efforts from several people, our counselors, Ms. Sharon Smith, Ms. Jordan Bennett, Ms. Jennifer Madden, for looking up all of the stuff on the computer. Dr. Taylor and I met with him several times. We had Mr. Sproul, Mr. Clark, Mr. Davis. We had a lot of people that had a lot of hands in, and it wasn't to pump up our score, it was to get what we deserved. We had already done the work. We had already done what we were supposed to do. The state was not reading the numbers correctly. When it all came out, the high school did get an excellent report card rating, which is what they earned, which is what they deserved. The middle school also received an excellent report card rating, and the elementary school, while it did receive a good report card rating, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's only a couple of points from excellent. We've already identified a couple of things that we can do to try and bump them up. But the odd thing about the good report card rating for the elementary school is every year when you look at their test scores for ELA and math, they have excellent rating for their test scores. It's just other little things that we are trying to identify to push them up over the top. We have people from all over the state that come to look at our elementary school in our district to see what we're doing correctly, because they want to model what they're doing after that. And so we're not exactly happy that they are not getting the recognition that they deserve for all the work that they're doing every year. And as far as the district, they used to give district report cards. They don't really give a district report card per se anymore, but Dr. Taylor sent me some information where somebody had taken each district in South Carolina. They'd kind of given them a score based off of their ratings from all the report cards. There's only one public school district in South Carolina that has a higher overall rating as a district than 96. There's only one. And we don't like that. So that's the goal, to jump them next year. So We are one of a very small number of districts that have all good and excellent schools in our district. And that's been the case for the last, I think, 3 years now in a row that we've done that. And so a lot of good things academically. We've got, again, I'm glad you recognize the band as well. There's just a lot of good things that are happening right now. So big celebration time. It's a month delayed because of the school report card delay release, but we are glad to report that. And if you guys have any questions about those, I'll be happy to answer.
Great report.
Absolutely.
Excellent report, right?
Absolutely.
So, well, thank you. Now on to finance with Mr. Andrew Mackey.
All right, well, first I'm going to turn it over to, I know your agenda says Theo DuBose. Theo had a knee replacement, so he's recovering from that. So we've got Ben Ziegler here, and he's going to walk us through our bond resolution, which is going to get us some money for our capital projects.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Taylor. Thank you for having me. As Finance Director said, I am a lawyer with partner with Theodore DuBose in the firm of Haynesworth Sinkler Boyd. Theo and I lead our school finance division of our bond department. So I work with a lot of school districts on my side of the state. I live in Florence, so this is a long way from home for me. But it was a pretty drive. This will actually be the first of 2 times that I'm going to be in 96 this week. I serve on the state 250 commission, and we're meeting in Greenwood on Friday, and I hope we're going to the 96 battlefield if it will reopen with the government shutdown loosening up. So looking forward to being back here in Greenwood County at the end of the week, and I appreciate y'all having me. The item before you, and I believe you have it in your packages, is a resolution authorizing the issuance of a $650,000 general obligation bond by the district. This is a bond that's being issued because you've got some money in your sinking fund that's been the result of good management of your projects, good management of your invested monies that has created a surplus. And under state law, in order to utilize that surplus, you can't use it to pay for things directly. You have to issue a bond to pay it. The Constitution says you can only use debt service millage proceeds for payment of debt service. So I understand you've done this in the past. You've looked at the end of the year and said, okay, we've got X amount. Do we have any projects we need to do? It sounds like you do. If you will look at Appendix A to the resolution, these are the improvements that are going to be funded from the $650,000 bond: classroom furniture for 96 primary and 96 elementary, digital signs, marquees for all schools, PA systems for all schools, and bus lot improvements. So you will finance those through this bond. This bond will not result in any imposition of additional taxes. This is money that's already on hand, will be used to pay this bond. It will mature in early March, and it will have a negligible amount of interest on it because of the short duration. We will, working with your financial advisor, we will take bids on this bond. As a matter of fact, we're already getting proposals on it, but we'll take bids on November the 20th, I guess next week, and we will close sometime in early December. So short, sweet, and it's going to get you about $650,000 in capital proceeds, and it'll be paid off in March.
Sounds good.
Mr. Mackey, anything?
You hit it all.
Great. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you.
Great. Well, pleasure being with you. Thank you very much.
Makes it easy.
Great.
So we do have to have a motion and a vote on this. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the issuance of the bond.
I'll make a motion that we approve the issuance of bond of $650,000.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Great. Thanks,
Have a good
man.
evening.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll move on to our monthly financial update. These numbers are as of the end of October, so 10/31/2025. In your packet, the revenue's listed at right about $2.4 million. Just as luck will have it, I got the county reports with our October tax revenue today, so once you update that, our revenue's actually around $2.8 million. It's actually $2,838,420. If you look at your 5-year comparison at this point last year, our revenue was $2,838,802. So almost exactly on the money, which never happens. So when I typed that number in, I thought it was a typo. So that shows that we're performing pretty much almost exactly like we were last year as far as our revenue. Typically revenue, property values increase a little bit, you get a little more taxes, which has occurred this year. Really the difference is as the Fed drops interest rates, we don't earn as much interest income, and we have a little bit less cash on hand after spending to finish this project. So really the big difference is our interest income is not as much as we were last year. That's out of our control really. So other than that, revenue is pretty much right where we would expect it to be. Our expenditures through October is right about $4.5 million. Again, if you look at your 5-year comparison, your expenditures are always going to outpace your revenue until we start getting property tax revenue at the turn of the year. And also once, probably December, January, February, once those months we get that tax revenue in, that's where we'll really start to see the actual impact of the Fujifilm closure and Ascend. So hopefully we get better news in January, but we're prepared. So, and then also just looking at expenditures, I project out throughout the rest of the year, just sort of annualize everything. Our spending is tracking on budget overall, exactly where we've sort of planned it. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions on the monthly finances, I'll be happy to answer them. If not, we'll shift on to the capital projects update. And so yeah, just to touch on what Ben Ziegler was here for, I apologize. The resolution, I didn't receive it in time to get it in the packet, so that's why you guys didn't have it, but I have a copy of it that I can email out to all of you. As he mentioned, we issue the bonds that frees up the capital projects money for us to be able to do some of our projects. As he mentioned, it's for the rest of the furniture at the primary school, the digital marquees, the PA systems. We're still waiting, I'm sure Mac will touch on this, waiting on word of the grant that we've applied for. I think Mac said they just voted on it, so we're still a ways away, but I'll let Officer Boudreaux touch on that more. And then, demolishing the White House at the bus lot and improving the bus lot. Now, if we do all those things and we still have some money left over on this pot of money, we can come back here and make a motion to add projects to it. And we still have, in our bond issuance from last year and the year before that, we have about $500,000 still available in those pots of money also. So we've got a good bit of money to where we can knock out some capital projects. Yes, digital marquees, the signs, but it should be significantly cheaper since the infrastructure is usually the high dollar amount. We talked last time about interior paint at all 4 schools. I'm still working on tracking down commercial painters. They're surprisingly hard to locate.
Do we want to replace the pole at the primary school?
We could.
I mean,
the guys, the sign guys that came to look at it, they do them all over Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and they looked at them and they were like, oh yeah, that'll be great, just because it's like 14 feet wide and the existing sign is actually like 10 feet, so it's a little smaller, so weight-wise it shouldn't be a problem. They acted like it was not an issue.
I'm just saying, I know the high school to middle schools, it's elevated some.
Yeah.
But, and I'm just gonna give you my opinion, when you're riding by the primary school, I really don't pay the sign there any attention. So.
Well, it's because it's not bright LED lights.
Well, maybe so. Maybe so. But to me, I think it would look better lower. But that's up to y'all. If you want it lower, now'd be the time to do it.
You're right. I can get a quote on replacing the whole thing. I don't have, because the one at the elementary school, right, it's, really low. It'll raise up. It'll be on a pole up higher up in the air. And this company that I got quotes for, their marquees like tie in with like the National Weather Service. So if there's a tornado warning,
Yeah.
our signs broadcast. So it'll help the community know when there's a warning or if there's a Amber Alert or.
How high will that one, how high is it gonna be at the elementary schools? And I'm just gonna tell you what I noticed. Like Temple Baptist Church just got a brand new sign, and it is right there at you.
Because it's in driving, like, when you're
It
driving,
is.
you see it,
Yeah.
but they may not want that lower.
I will tell you in just a second.
I just think it looks better, but, you know, it's whatever the principals want. How about that? Let's put it on them.
Exactly.
Whatever the principals want, how about that?
So 120 inches tall. Is that right? Yeah. 10 feet.
10 feet.
So yeah, that's up there, right?
It is.
It's up there.
I mean, so yeah, it'll be much higher than it is now. And like it'll be similar to that one at the Temple Baptist Church.
That's what the design, that's what the board will be like, the sign will be like.
Yeah, it'll be a similar
It's
like
just
LED.
gonna be in the air.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to y'all. I mean, if y'all want anything changed with it, now's the time to do it.
Mr.
You
Rourke,
got-
do you know how tall the sign at the primary school is?
I would say it's 10 feet.
So,
We can look at it.
yeah.
We got money. See, I heard say we got money, so. Anyway, just throwing that out there.
I mean, I'll definitely ask the sign guys again to look at it and make sure it's not, because I'm sure there's some kind of, I don't know, studies that show you best line of sight, you know, whatever. So I'll ask those guys to look at it.
Well, DOT don't mind putting guardrails in your way when you're trying to pull out of your road, right, Ms. Thompson?
They certainly don't, and we have called and complained.
Just saying. So.
All right. Are there any further questions on capital projects or anything else that you guys want to add to the list? All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Thanks, sir.
Now on to safety. Mr. Mac Boudreau.
All right, in y'all's package, you should have the report from October. Primary school had 0, elementary had 1 with a suspicious vehicle, middle school had 2 with suspicious vehicle and a drug investigation, high school had 0, alternative 0, transportation 0, baseball field 0, multiplex 1, animal complaint, district office 0, just give you a total of 4 for the month, which is up 3 from last month and down 6 from 10 this time last year. Drills and training, all the schools did their fire drills, the complex did tornado drills, all the schools did their earthquake drills. Primary school did intruder drills, and EMS middle school did weapons detection in their bus drop-off, where 98 students were scanned and only had 5 detections. Updates and information. As Andrew said, we put in for the school safe facilities grant. They met last Tuesday on the 4th to vote. They have not yet released what I call the spreadsheet of who got what and how much it was. So hopefully before winter break, we'll have that list, which will at least give us an idea of the number we'll be getting. And then usually in January, we get what we can spend it on. Again, our priorities was PA systems and bulletproof film for the school windows. CRG, the Criminal Response Group, I told you guys a couple months ago that they came through and did some mapping. In accordance with the state budget proviso 1.161, that has been completed. Dr. Taylor, Mr. Schoolfield, and all the principals have been shown that and went over it with them, how it works and how first responders will use it. Again, that goes, our district can use it, our county dispatch can use it, fire department, EMS, law enforcement, because when something happens here, everybody's coming. I mean, people from Saluda, surrounding counties, Columbia, I know thing happened up in Greenwood, Charleston County showed up. So basically the same happened, we helped. And I know these maps will greatly help them in that type of situation. Any questions?
When I see the report, it says drug investigation.
Yes, sir.
Is that, like a visitor, student, like, you gotta tell me specifically.
Yeah, it was not a student. It was a parent who, so a parent had driven through the primary school line. I believe it was a teacher or maybe the school resource officer that smelled the odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle. So he relayed that to me and a road officer. And when that car pulled up at the middle school, we observed the smell again and pulled him out of the line and
Okay.
did a probable cause search and everything on the vehicle. We didn't find anything, but that's what that is.
Gotcha. Thank you.
All right, thank y'all.
Okay. Now on to Kathy Anderson, with our policies.
Thank you so much. All right, if you turn in your packet, page 44, there are some policies that are up for second reading. They start with policy GBC on the first page of the agenda, and they conclude with policy JIAA, sexual harassment, on the second page of your agenda. So I did not receive any questions about these policies over the interim, and no one asked for any additional comments. I'm going to give you one more opportunity. If you need any clarification, I'll give you a chance to ask about that. And if there's no clarification needed, then I would like to have a motion to approve those policies in the second reading section.
I'll make a motion, we approve policy GBC, policy GCB, policy GCK, policy GCOA, policy GCQF, policy GBAA, and policy JIAA
And that's it.
for approval.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move along to the next set, which begins on page 123. This is our final set of the legislative updates, so when we get to the end of these, we will have completed all but one policy in the legislative update. And the policy that we have not approved yet or has not been brought before you deals with the school board trust, and it deals with intra and inter school district transfers. So we're gonna wait until the school board trust gives us guidance on that before we bring that before you. All right, so let's turn on page 123. And policy IC school year, if you turn to 123, you actually have the current policy that's there, and then right behind it, you have the new policy. The change in this policy is very minor, but it was done in accordance with the Educator Assistance Act. You know, we've had a lot of policies that have stemmed from that particular act, and the highlighted section talks about professional development days, and it clarifies what those days should be used for in accordance to the Educator Assistance Act. So that's basically the only change is in that first paragraph, that there are 4 days for professional development based on state academic achievement standards, and the remaining 4 days of PD may be used for teacher preparation, planning, academic plans, and parent conferences. So that's the only piece that changed with that entire policy that we have. All right, questions about that before we move on? All right, policy EF is on food services. Right now, we are participating in the community eligibility program in 96. That is a federal program. It provides free lunch to everyone, basically all students, not adults, that come to the cafeteria. And until that changes, we really don't have to worry about a lot of sections of this policy. But should we change federal regulations and the community eligibility program not exist anymore, then we'd have to go back to free, reduced lunch and charges and those types of things. So page 127 is the current policy. page 129, you see all of that yellow. They changed up some things in the policy. If you go back to being a paying district, some things that would have to be different. Then it talks about supplementary food regulations, like what you can let kids buy in a cafeteria after they've had their meals. And it talks about different types of eligibility. That middle paragraph has some bullets in it about things you cannot do if you go back to a paying district for students that don't pay, that those items are not acceptable. Then at the bottom, it talks about the community eligibility program. And that's what we're currently doing now. On the top of 130, it talks about parents, if they have an issue with the community eligibility program, there's actually a link there that they can do a complaint to the U.S. Department of Agriculture Director about that. So that first section really doesn't apply as long as we stay community eligibility. All right. The AR on 131 is the current one. And then you get to 133, and you really don't see a whole lot of changes with the AR except for on 134. And it talks about what happens with, the only difference here is it talks about what happens with balances that are left at the end of the year should you go back to paying reduced fees, you know, whether or not they would have to be returned to students. And it says a full refund if we do go back to that mechanism of having paid and reduced lunches. Questions about that one? 135 is social media and electronic communications. This is really kind of an interesting policy. You know, social media kind of borders sometimes people's First Amendment rights, you know, when they say what they think they need to say. So this policy kind of defines what digital communications are. You know, it gives you some rules and things that we don't allow in our district. For one, social media during the school day is prohibited. It can distract from learning, environment, and impede academic performance. And students are encouraged to engage with these platforms outside of school hours. You know, with no cell phones being used in the classroom, that's easy to monitor. But I dare say once we hit 3:30, they probably go right straight back to social media and all these other things that they normally do. I think it's very interesting, that last paragraph about what happens on social media if you signal out other people, what kind of consequences and disciplinary action you can receive. Any kind of examples of inappropriate digital communications or verbal and physical conduct threatens and harms others. You know, sometimes we have things happen on a weekend and then they get brought back to school on Monday, and then we're trying to settle all the things that happen on the weekend because phones are not prohibited on the weekend and nobody knows what's going on, and it's a real problem, I guess, so to speak, when it does happen. Things that are also inappropriate there, if you seek to coerce or compel someone to do something in violation of the law or district policy. Cyberbullying is a no-no. Discriminatory statements, hostile acts based on race, religion, sex, color, disability, national origin, immigration status, English-speaking status, or other applicable statuses that are protected by local, state, and federal law. And some of these things, if they're violated, would actually have to be reported to state or federal law enforcement. So I think it's our job, as we continue on with this, to do some education for our children and students, to let them know what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, and what happens when it's not appropriate. Because I think sometimes they start out not meaning a lot of harm, but they end up in a place where they didn't think they would go to start with. So as this policy is adopted, or if it is, then we will continue to try to provide some guidance for our students as to what's proper and what's not.
Well, this applies to primarily students, not necessarily staff or teachers.
It does, but in the past, we have strongly discouraged staff from communicating on social media during school time. They're being paid to do their jobs, to teach. We have had certain instances where there's been a lot of posting going on during the work hour, and it was posting that kind of incited people. And we've had to deal with some of that in the past to say, you know, do that after work, but don't do it on our time, kind of thing. So it is highly discouraged for them to be doing that during their school time, just as it is for students. Any questions?
So this policy is making us aware of these potential concerns and
Yes.
to be aware of them?
Yes. And it's also defining for you
Yeah.
what all the digital communications are.
Okay.
You know, it's not just email, it can be email, social media, apps, blogs, chat rooms, instant messages, gaming platforms. You know, really, to be honest with you, probably the gaming platforms and chat rooms are probably a lot more student-oriented kind of things that go on. The gaming platforms in particular. There have been some incidences of some disciplinary things that have happened during the gaming world. That things were said that were inappropriate. They're obviously not in school, we're not gaming in school, but they come back to school with that from after hours. Okay? All right, 137 addresses unmanned aircrafts and drones. When I first saw this, I thought, wow. But you know, there is a lot to think about with a drone. You know, we've talked before about FERPA and privacy of students. You know, some parents don't like their kids' pictures made. Some parents may be tracking other kids where they are, you know, through their social media, through websites and that kind of thing. So someone flying a drone over your school really by this policy has to have permission from the superintendent to do that. And it needs to be educational in nature. So I thought of some times, you know, the district did own a drone about 3 years ago. I don't know where it is right now, but we flew it over our school district and did a recruitment video, pictures of the outside schools, no kids, that kind of thing, and we use it to flash up to show people about 96. But I think the thing about this is you have a lot of people that use drones in a lot of different ways. You know, some may fly over and record a football game. Some may fly over when we're building a new building and record the building and the ceremony and then post it. Well, that's all and well and good, but they've got to follow FFA or FAA regulations to do that. And I'm not real sure they know what those FAA regulations are. And they're stated in the policy what they are. And in addition to that, this is our property. So you really can't fly over someone's property, you know, without permission to do so. So this addresses that for a lot of reasons. You know, drones are becoming kind of a hot thing. A lot of people have them, you know, some are registered, some are not. But it basically, the prohibited uses at the bottom of 137, the district prohibits the use of a drone for surveillance, photography, or video recording without written authorization from the superintendent. So it's not saying you can't do it. It's just saying we need to know what you're doing and what your purpose is for doing it.
But you need to fix the two typos on the bullet points. It says 0.55 pounds and it's 55 pounds. So
Okay,
need to take that decimal off of both of those.
all right. Will do. Anything else?
How do you enforce this? If somebody's flying a drone over and you don't have any idea, can you shoot it down or what?
No, I guess you're just gonna have to try to figure out who it is, and, really, basically, you know, people most of the time will fly it and post to social media and rat each other out by doing that, you know, so-and-so's got this about this, and you hear about it that way.
Yeah.
But it is a tough thing to police, it is. But I do understand the premise of what it's there for, you know, which is to protect the kids and their rights and their FERPA and protect the property and what the purpose of this is. So that model policy is included in the legislative update. On page 138, the last piece of that policy, it says, it talks about incidents, and it said any incident that causes injury to individuals or damage to property as a result of the drone use must be reported immediately to the appropriate district personnel for supervising district property. So we've had a few, you know, that I know of in the past. I don't know what's happened in this past year, but, you know, there's some that I have seen that have been used in different ways around here. So, all right, you heard a lot about AI and the responsible use of AI, and I believe it was Mr. Schoolfield's presentation where he talked about a group that was gonna be using some AI in a classroom. Page 139 is aimed at the policy, artificial intelligence, responsible use. You know, you gotta have some parameters for how kids are able to use this. It defines what AI is. There's a lot of talk about when you use AI, you have to be careful with FERPA, and you have to be careful with SIPA, which is a Child Internet Protection Act too, that you're not getting over in those zones. And COPA and IDEA are all big things to keep in mind when you're using AI and how you use it. So the middle of that page defines the different types of AI. This was news to me. I didn't know we had this many types of AI. I haven't studied it. But it defines AI in the second paragraph, and it talks about generative artificial intelligence was a whole nother type of AI, which allows you to create audio-visual text and data and all those different kinds of things. And it talks about open source AI, and those are used for public available platforms. And then it talks about personal identifiable information. If you're using AI, you know, you have to be careful when you give the credit to the source that you're using it to or using it from. It can't become your source. So AI on the bottom of 139, it tells you when it can be used and when it can't. So students can use AI, but they can't submit AI work and call it their own. Okay, so teacher signs a project, student gets a bright idea, I'm gonna deep dive AI, I'm gonna put the subject in there, and I'm gonna turn this PowerPoint in as my project. Okay, so you can only imagine what that is. That's cheating. And so this opens up a whole nother door as to how you police that as well. So page 140 talks about academic dishonesty and how those situations would be handled. Talks about privacy violations, and then it gets into the third section there, discrimination, bullying, and harassment, which people can produce all kinds of different products in AI, songs, raps, that may be aimed at topics that may be discriminating, may be bullying. So it does open a whole nother world. But AI is something that can be used positively if you use it with proper constraints. And I don't think it's going away. So if you don't teach kids how to use it responsibly, then are we really doing our job? You know, so that policy is aimed at trying to get something started with AI and putting some parameters around how that can be used. Now, I think David will probably be working some with AI in the future with the staff. And as he works through this, if there need to be some changes, if you decide you want to adopt this, then of course we would bring those changes back to you at that time. So I just want to leave those, if there are no questions for you to consider before your second reading, and you can please give me a call if you have any questions that I can help you with. Okay? Any other questions about the policies? All right, with your permission, I'll move on to hiring, if that's good.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so we still have the two open positions, science, high school science, and middle level language arts. Next month, we will be bringing you a high school science recommendation. We received an affirmative of a job offer Friday night, which did not give us time to amend the agenda to put it on there. But it will be in the December agenda packet, and this person that we will bring to you, with your permission, will be hired to teach high school science at 96 High School. And I think you'll be very pleased with that. It's a very high quality applicant we're pleased with. All right, middle school, we're still working on what we're gonna do with that job. There's some talk about restructuring that job a little bit to allow Jason to redesign some programs that he would like to have in his school, so that the job actually fits the category better what he wants done in his school, project-wise. So you may see the wording of that change a little bit in the future. And I'm proud to announce tonight we have finished some hiring. We have hired Lauren McIntosh as a primary school teaching assistant. We've hired Gabrielle, we call her Gabby, Colvin, C-O-L-V-I-N. She's the new elementary school nurse that replaces Tracy Gotts. We've hired Barbara Fuller as the primary cafeteria manager. You know, Kim Boyd was moved over middle and high, so that created that spot. Today, we have been in conversation with Renee Wonder. She is a primary school teaching assistant, and she's scheduled to come in Thursday and finish her payroll paperwork, and she'll be ready to go on December the 1st, and she's at the primary. We are in negotiations with Elizabeth Eichelberger, and she has been selected as a teaching assistant for a .5 at the primary school and .5 at the elementary school. So that's a good many people that we processed since the last meeting. And so that kind of closes out all the classified folks. And now we're still working on those vacancies we got. December 1, we're gonna try to get letters of intent out and have them back by Christmas so we can see if anybody's gonna be leaving, if they'll be honest with us about their intentions. That will allow us to be able to fill positions early and recruit the ones that we're missing. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Just ask for a motion.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Y'all weren't ready.
Don't do it.
Didn't do that tonight, like, for the first all is well. It's nice to have all those people recognize.
Oh, my goodness.
Darren always gets that one first. I like just get Dr. Green. Dr. Green, that's his first reading. Be fast on
It'll come up something very similar. So yeah, we plan to go there. It's great.
Oh, well, it's better now because it's winter, but I called them and complained.